welcome to Living Face Midweek Devotions. Today I want to continue in our look into the book of Daniel as we've been looking at standing out. And so actually I want to pull you to what Daniel chapter 6 says. Daniel chapter 6 is a very familiar chapter in the Bible where Daniel is put in the lion's den. But instead of focusing on the lion's den, I actually want to focus on what got him into the lion's den. It's because he stood out with his habits and his character. Check out what the other administrators and leaders in the Babylonian Empire were doing. They were jealous. They were jealous because Daniel was getting a higher and higher seat in the royal court and under King Nebuchadnezzar and King Darius now. And so they were jealous. They didn't want Daniel to have these positions. So they knew that according to the laws of the Medes and Persians, if there was a certain decree put into place, it could not be repealed, it could not be changed. And so they tried to catch Daniel in doing something, just like the Pharisees and the Sadducees always tried to catch Jesus doing something wrong. Well, Jesus always followed the law of God and not necessarily the special laws that the Pharisees were adding. So they saw Jesus breaking just their laws, not God's laws. Here also the same thing. Look at Daniel. Daniel is not breaking the law of God, but he will break an added law that they have King Darius put into place that cannot worship any other God. And they knew that they would catch Daniel in this because Daniel had such a character filled with faith, such a character filled with habits that put that faith into action. And so here in Daniel chapter 6, we see that unfold. The leaders of the country of Babylon have King Darius put this law into place, and they know that they're going to catch Daniel living out his faith. As he did every single day, Daniel would go 3 times a day and pray, looking out his window to Jerusalem, praying to the God of all creation, to the true God. Listen to these words now from Daniel chapter 6, verses 6 and following. So these administrators and satraps went as a group to the king and said, "May King Darius live forever." The royal administrators, prefects, satraps, advisors, and governors have all agreed that the king should issue an edict and enforce the decree that anyone who prays to any god or human being during the next 30 days, except to you, your majesty, shall be thrown into the lion's den. Now, your majesty, issue the decree and put it in writing so that it cannot be altered, in accordance with the law of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be repealed. So King Darius put the decree in writing. Now when Daniel learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room where the windows opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. Then these men went as a group and found Daniel praying and asking God for help. So they went to the king and spoke to him about his royal decree. "Did you not publish a decree that during the next 30 days anyone who prays to any god or human being except to you, your majesty, would be thrown into the lion's den?" The king was then troubled because he liked Daniel and he really appreciated Daniel ruling in his dynasty, in his kingdom. The big question I have to ask you today: do your enemies, do those in your life, the non-Christians, even the believers, the other Christians, your family and your friends, know that you've got this set of habits, this character of faith built up inside of you that is unwavering, that will not falter, that will always stick towards faith and having it in God, and you will not change that? So when they're so opposed to you, they know that they can catch you in that. Where's your faith? Where's your habits? Where's your character today? Do the things that you do during the day point others to see that you are on the one path towards God? That you're living a life that is sacrificed and focused on Him alone? Or do your habits and character point towards the actions of this world? Point towards the fear that you have, that you don't want everybody to see your faith because you don't want the persecution. because you don't want them to make fun of you, because you want to be able to still fit in with them. Daniel didn't care what they thought. He only cared about his connection with God and not losing that. Dear friends, this week I pray that the inspiration that Daniel gives us in standing up for his faith and unwavering faith, building up that set of habits and character towards God, lives in you too. Stand out, dear friends, with habits and character, the character of faith that God has planted in your heart. God bless you, and I hope to see you next time.